Hey guys, it's HerO from DifferenceInSkill, bringing you guys my Spike Brothers deck profile. I know Chan put his up, but mine is a little bit more, you could say, or less unorthodox than Chan's. Although I am becoming a believer of the no perfect guard spikes, it's actually just a really good deck. You win basically by turn 4 or 5, and the reason is that, it doesn't run perfect guards for the reason that it makes room for other 7Ks, and because of that, you can just like drop your whole hand and start pressuring right from the start, and it actually surprisingly works. So yeah, I'm starting to become a believer of that, but for now, this is going to be what I'll be running as of July, whatever the date is today, 18th, I think, 2012. So my starting Vanguard is Smart Leader, Dark, no, I'm fucking joking, this thing's a piece of shit. Mecha Trainer. Mecha Trainer is obviously kind of good because, it's a Conroe clone, and anything that is in Kagero has to be good, No, but the real reason is because it helps with your early game rush. I mean, you counterblast 1, get any grade 1 from your hand. Especially used with Field Driller because it's only 7k. This allows you to get that Wonder Boy that it needs to swing for 15. So it's really good. Obviously, I would never run that other card. This thing, it's a Skydiver. That's 5k. No. Just... Oh, no. Ew, I touched it. Mecha Trainer. Good card. 5 out of 5. Would run again. So, yeah. One Mecha Trainer. Starting Vanguard. And then we have the usual trigger lineup. 4 draws. 4 crits. 8 crits. And 4 heals. Obviously, if you're going to be rushing them, you want to deal as much damage as possible. And what could anything do a better job than critical triggers? If you rip a critical trigger in your grade 1 or grade 2 check and they don't guard it, because generally people don't, or you get over their shield, it basically wins you the game, because they're at 2 damage or possibly 3 because you have the power to rear guard, and then on your first or second turn. So that's like really good. I mean, if you get them to 4 damage before you ride to grade 3, you've basically essentially won the game. Because then they're going to have to just start guarding everything that you throw at them. I mean, at 21k, Dudley Emperor is a little hard to guard, 21k, 3 stages, so it's a little good. So, yeah, good card, it's good. So yeah, that's the trigger lineup. Stands, I don't run stands for the fact that I tried them, and I have my findings on a blog post I've made on my blog. So stands I don't like at all. Did not like them at all. So yeah. Grade 1s, 4 perfect guards. As of right now, I may or may not drop them. I may drop down to 3, 2, I don't know. It's I'm having mixed feelings because, like, obviously 4 perfect guards in the deck are obviously good at all the time, but Spikeler seems to be that exception where you may not be able to get an effect cell such as Field Driller or something, or you're not be able to pressure as well in the early game, where because you don't want to drop her as a 6k booster or something, and that kind of sucks. So, but at the same time, it leaves you wide open. But technically, you're supposed to have 1 by the time like they get big attacks out and whatnot. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm confused. I mean, no perfect guard spikes works. Chan's played them. I've played his deck. It works. Like, I stomped my friend who was playing Royal Paladin like 8 times out of 10, and that one time that I lost was because I should have overguarded because I could have. He had 3 cards out in the field and his Vanguard, and that's it. No cards in hand. I had like 7 cards in my hand in a full field, and he sacked me because I got greedy, and I should have just guarded for an extra 5k, and then I would have won next turn easy. So yeah, it stomps really well. You have to know, for no perfect guard spikes, you have to know how to guard, basically. Like, you have to be careful with your guarding. If you like guard for 10k, which is minimum, and they get over it with their 1 drive check, because guarding against a 10k against a twin drive is just stupid, you basically just are really behind, because you just gave away a 10k shield for free, which you really need. You need these 10k shields, you need these 5k shields in order to not take 4 damage, in order to be able to take a Vanguard attack or 2 once they get to grade 3. That's the key. So 4 for now. We'll see what happens. 4 Medical Manager. I love this card. He's awesome. Soul Charge 1. More fuel for Bracky, Juggernaut, Zachary, and Reckless Express. And he's a 7k booster, so what's not to love? 3 Reckless Express. I don't run 4 because for some reason I would prefer to ride into Medical Manager than ride Reckless Express. So I'd run 4 Medical Manager, so I have a better chance of just drawing into him. And just 3 Reckless Express because that's all I have room for. And 4 Wonder Boy, obviously 8k booster, vanilla. Really good card, obviously, because it's an 8k booster. And what would I take out? I mean, what would I put in for if I took out the Marylands? I would put in a 4th Reckless Express, because right now I'm running 15 grade 1s and 10 grade 2s. Yes, that's correct. So I would run 14-11. So what I would do is just take out a grade 1, take out a Maryland for a grade 2, put in another Reckless Express, and put in 2 Daisies. Now the Daisies could just be used as 7k boosters, which are really good, you know, just drop them early under pressure, or they can actually be used its effect, because occasionally you actually do have like a lone counterblast for some reason. I don't know how that works, but sometimes you do. And then you're just like, oh, that counterblast is just sitting there. You can call a Daisy, and you can have her boost for 12k, you know, which is kind of good for the price of 1 counterblast. So that's my grade 1 lineup for now. So don't read too much into it. Grade 2s, I have 3 Field Driller. This card is a god. Like, it works in Spike Brothers, and I can't see it working in any other deck than Spike Brothers. Because Spike Brothers doesn't give a damn if they throw down their entire hand, because you're supposed to. Now, that's another reason why No Perfect Guards works, because you don't want to really call a Perfect Guard as a booster. It's a 6k. A 7k, however, which you would replace Marylands with 7ks, you could just call it. You don't give a fuck, because that means that Zachary swings for 16. That means that Bracky swings for 21 with its Soul Blast cost. I mean, it doesn't matter. And so if you ride this guy, or you can even call it a rear guard if you have enough cards to put down, and you just call 4 other rear guards, and then you attack as your Vanguard, and you gotta use Mecha Trainer to get Wonder Boy, so it's boosted by Wonder Boy. So you're swinging for 15 on the highest power possible would be 10k, which is still a magic number, so you're easy. 10k turn 2, so this is turn 2 when you ride to grade 2. If they went first, then they'll be at grade 2, which the highest power is 10k commonly, but they can get to 11, you know, but that's rare. And Tachikaze and Nova Grappler. But anyways, yeah. So you swing for 15, and then they can either guard for 10 and hope you don't get a trigger, or they guard for 15, or they take it. They take it, you draw a card. They guard for a minute and you get a trigger, you draw a card, and you walk out over their shields. Now the worst possible scenario here is that they guard for minimum and you don't get a trigger. But they're just guarded at turn 2. So that's just forcing more cards out of the hand that they usually wouldn't have to, because they'd be like, oh, this is too much, no guard. But since you have that threat of being able to draw a card, people just guard it. So it works. And then past turn 2, it doesn't really work anymore. So it's just a turn 2 play in the early game, because mid-game Spike Brothers is really slow because of their limit break necessity to use Emperor. But yeah, I have 3 Zachary here. Now the reason why I run 3 Zachary is because I can, basically. Panthers, I'm not a fan of Panther for the reason that, I mean, it's 10k and all, but we don't have any 6k boosters other than Maryland, which you shouldn't be calling in the first place normally. So it's not really necessary. And it's a little too static for me. Like, Spike Brothers, you want your field constantly changing. You want to be, you know, tagging out and whatnot. That's where they're best. When they're tagging out and then Emperor calls in 2 things, and it's awesome. Zachary is also static, but at least it has a situationally useful effect of being able to on-hit, tag out, and draw a card. Which it can be useful in order to get, you know, 2 fodder cards that you need for Emperor or something. Pardon. Sorry, I'm sick, as you can tell. So yeah, I just run 3 Zachary. I might bump it down to 2 or even 1 and run 1 or 2 Panthers. I'm not sure yet. I need to test more, because I actually haven't tested this deck in real life. It's all been on Beyond, but Beyond is still a pretty decent way of testing. So yeah, 3 Zachary. Once again, for now, don't look too much into it. I'll update the deck profile if I ever change it. And lastly, for Brackies, this card is awesome. It's a little juggernaut. 9k grade 2, Soul Blast gains 5k, swings for 14 by itself, behind a 7k booster, 21k. Easy. So yeah, I mean, you have this in front of a 7k booster, you attack, you Soul Blast, 21. You tag it out. Attack, do the same thing on the other side, 21. You tag it out. Emperor, Soul Charge 2 cards from your hand. Call 2 Juggernauts, 10k, 10k, and then at least 15k for the Vanguard attack. Easy peasy. That's how Spike Brothers works. You don't have 65k shield in your hand, then you're pretty dead. So those are the grade 2s. Lastly, the grade 3s. Pretty obvious. Obviously, 3 Skydiver. I'm fucking joking. 4 Juggernaut, and 4 Demonic Lord, Dudley Emperor, Limit Break, Boss, Beast. Amazing card. 5 out of 5. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. So yeah. Obviously, Limit Breaker. Counterblast 2. Put 2 cards from your hand into the soul, and you can Superior Call 2 units, spectacular units from your deck, which are probably going to be 2 of these guys. 11k base. Attack Soul Blast Swing for 16 by itself. Easy 10k guard that they need to throw down against any Vanguard except for obviously the end in MLB, because that's Japanese, so nobody gives a shit because this is English. So yep, that's the deck. I'll be making an analysis video on what old cards just don't make the cut anymore, because I'm sure that a lot of people will be wondering, it's like, oh, how do I make Spike Brothers deck, and then look up a list of cards and then end up running 4 Skydiver. Yeah, no. So yeah, I'll be making card of that. I'll also be making, also in that video, I'll explain a little bit more in detail why the stand isn't good, in case people are too lazy to read, or click a link, or both. So yeah. This is the video, guys. This is HerO from DifferenceInSkill. Yes, there are 2 people that run the Vanguard stuff on this channel, HerO, Chan and I. So Chan's been doing his fair share of work, so I need to step it up. So yeah, guys, thanks for watching. This is HerO. Peace.